Welcome back to the lecture series of function of complex variable. So in the previous lecture actually I have discussed what are the geometrical significance of a function of complex variable, and I have discussed about the conformal mapping and isogonal mapping as to different types of function of complex variable, and I have discussed related examples also. So now in this lecture I am going to discuss what is the connection between analytic function and a conformal mapping, because you know that whenever we are defining a function, in which cases the function can be analytic. I have discussed it earlier. Then I'll try to provide, or I'll try to impose some connections in between analytic function and the conformal mapping, because mapping is nothing but a function, and I'll discuss different kind of known examples of different kind of known examples of complex mapping. So this is a very important theorem. So this theorem states us that, so if let f be an analytic function in a particular domain. So if f is an analytic function in a particular domain, that means f is analytic at each and every point in that domain. So apart from that, if at a point z0 the derivative of f at the point z0 is not equals to 0, if both these conditions are satisfied, then we can say that the f will be conformal at the point z0. So actually, from analytic consequences of analytic function, if we impose that the first derivative is not equals to 0 at a particular point, as well as the function is analytic, then obviously the function will be conformal at that point. Conformal at that point means if we consider two curves that are intersecting at this point, so the angle that is made at this point will be preserved in the sense of magnitude and directions under the mapping. So that is actually the consequences of the conformal mapping. Reversely, if f is conformal at a point z0, then obviously f will be analytic at z0. So if the function fz is analytic at a point z0, so one more condition must be added to it, that means f dash z0 should be not equals to 0, then it will be conformal. And conversely, if a mapping is conformal, obviously it will be analytic at that particular point. I am going to discuss some known types of mapping and what are the geometrical consequences or geometrical significances of that mapping. So I am considering a translation. So translation means I can represent any complex value or complex variable as a vector quantity in 2 dimensions. Say for example, this is our z point in the z plane. So z is mapped to some w in the w plane. So what is w actually? So w means z is translated along another vector a, and a plus z is the value of the function at the point z. What does it mean actually? What do we mean by the translation? If we shift the vector without, if we shift the vector, that means we are translating, that means we are not rotating, we are just shifting the vector along a particular line, and it is called as a translation. So here first we are starting from, so z is starting the vector that is the Poissonal vector to z is starting from or initiating from 0. So first we are starting with a vector, then from this we are going to a, then we are going to this vector a plus z. So that means we are actually joining or adding the Poissonal vectors of the complex value a and the complex value z. So if we join the Poissonal vector of complex value a and z together, so the resultant vector will give us the value of w there. So a plus z, that means this will be the Poissonal vector of w. Because you know that if I represent a vector, so this is a triangular law, so sum of the vector will be denoted by this resultant vector. So this is the Poissonal vector of w. So what is the translation? Translation means z is here, so if we shifting this vector to here, that means if say z is here, thus we are shifting the vector along the same line, we are not rotating it, just we are shifting this vector along the same line, then we are getting the point w. So this kind of mapping is called as a translation. So since a is the complex value, if I take a equals to a plus ib and z equals to x plus iy, so you know that whenever we are adding to complex value, so real part will be added together and complex plus will be added together. So that means xy, the point xy will going to x plus a plus y plus b. That means xy, this is the xy coordinate, so x will be shifted to x plus a, y will be shifted to y plus b, then I will get the point w there. So this is a w, so this is shifted by this vector. So that is now the newer position of the image of xy, that is uv. We will discuss the rotation. What do you mean by the rotation? Rotation means the angle is changed, angle is getting changed. So that means z is mapped to w. So what is the w? So you know that if I rotate z with the angle of magnitude alpha, then it will be represented to the power I alpha, because you know that if I rotate rotate a complex variable with another complex value. So another complex value is say this. So since we are measuring here the rotation, so we need to represent the complex value in the form of the polar coordinate. So you know that any complex value z can be represented in the form of r e to the power I alpha. So we are representing this complex value as alpha. So this complex value amount rotation is imposed on z. Then what we are getting, e to the power I alpha into r e to the power I theta. So r e to the power I into theta plus alpha. So initially z was r e to the power I theta. So now it is going to r e to the power I into theta plus alpha. So theta is added with alpha. That means alpha amount rotation is done here with z to get the value of w. So what we are getting here? So that is the position of z. So that is the initial position of z. So that is r e to the power I theta. That means this angle is theta. Because we know that what is the angle theta? This is the theta angle. That means the angle that is made by the positional vector of this point with positive x-axis. So that is our u-axis. So this angle is theta. So now this is rotated again alpha amount in the positive direction. That means in the anti-clockwise direction. So then your position will be w. So this then it is the rotation. This is a theta angle. Initially it was from the theta angle from x-axis. Now it was from theta plus alpha angle from x-axis. So now this is called as a rotation. That means the original vector is rotated with another angle alpha. So that is the newer position of this vector z in the w plane. We'll consider the magnification. Magnification means we are considering a vector. So we are considering a complex value. So for that complex value there will be a positional vector. Now this positional vector is magnified with some complex number a. So if a is positive, then a is greater than 1, then it will be magnified, and if a is less than 1, it will be squeezed. So say for example this is z. So if a is greater than 1, then the positional vector will be magnified in magnitude. So this is a z, now it is magnified. So the magnitude of the positional vector of z now is more in w. So this is called as a magnification. So here if we multiply the alpha vector, that means a is a complex number. So if we add positional vector of a here, that means say a is this. So if I add a amount of vector here, then I will get the magnification in UV plane. So that is the mapping, that is the geometrical significance of the mapping magnification. Then there comes inversion. So what is the definition of inversion? So inversion means fz equals to 1 by z. So that is the inversion. That means we are taking the reciprocal of the complex value z. So what does it mean actually? So this is a z. So 1 by z means 1 by r to the power I theta. So 1 by r into e to the power minus I theta. So if for the z the positional vector, the magnitude of the positional vector will be r. So here the magnitude of the positional vector will be 1 by r. So here if r is greater than 1, so 1 by r will be less than 1. So actually the positional vector of w will be squeezed. Now if for z r is less than 1, so for w 1 by r will be greater than 1, so it will be magnified. And the angle will be reversed. That means in the case of z the angle is theta, but whenever we are considering inversion, that's why it is known as the inversion. So the angle is minus theta. That means we are going in the reverse direction from the real axis. So this is the position of theta. So here this is 1 by r. So this is, if this is r, so if r is, in that case the figure that I have shown here, in that case the r is greater than 1. So 1 by r is less than 1. So the magnitude of w is has been decreased. And the angle of rotation is here theta. Now here the angle of rotation is minus theta. That is the inversion. So they are common geometrical figure or geometrical transform that we can consider in a function of complex variable. So we have discussed here 4 kind of the geometrical figure. So what are the 4 kind of complex mapping? We have discussed here. One is translation, another is rotation, then magnification, and then inversion. So before that I have discussed what are the relation between analytic function and a conformal mapping, and some special kinds of complex mapping in the form of the translation, rotation, magnification, and inversion. So in the next lecture I will be discussing what is the invariant points under a conformal mapping and what are the consequences of conformal mapping. So till then stay tuned.